What's up guys, my name is Fran and welcome back to the channel, and today we're decking out the Osmo Action, a new action camera by DJI. And what better way to test out an action camera than to do something that requires some action. Alright, so just last week, DJI announced their all-new action camera, the Osmo Action. This is a GoPro-style action camera that might make you consider switching if you're on the market for an action camera. And since this thing was just announced last week Friday, and I've only gotten mine this Monday, I've only had it for about 24 hours. But what I wanted to do is give you guys my first impressions of the Osmo Action with the full review coming out in the near future. So be sure to subscribe down below to make sure you don't miss out on the video. So at first glance, we're looking at the Osmo Action side by side to GoPro's latest GoPro, the Hero 7 Black. They look very similar, especially from the back, until you actually power them on. The first thing you notice is that the Osmo Action screen is much larger. But once you actually swing around to the front of these two action cameras, here's where you notice a major difference. While the GoPro has a really nice infographic screen that's going to give you information like what mode you're in and what capacity you have left on your SD card, the Osmo Action is going to actually have a screen that you can use for framing yourself if you're doing any type of vlogging, or even possibly if you're just mounting the Osmo Action in a really awkward situation. With the press of one button, you can switch that screen off and frame yourself. New to the Osmo Action, DJI introduced their own version of digital image stabilization, which is called Rocksteady. Now it does crop in on the sensor just a little bit, but it does give you much more stable video. Alright, so now we are walking and we have the same exact settings but with the Rocksteady off. And now once again we're walking, but this time around we have the Rocksteady on. And because the Osmo Action does have a super wide lens, it is going to have that distorted fisheye effect. So built into the Osmo Action, DJI did put a dewarped mode, which sort of gives it more of a basic square linear look. Once again, the same settings. This time around we're not using the dewarped mode, so this is regular field of view warped. It's the exact same scene, this time it's been dewarped. Now, aside from making a product that's very similar to GoPro, I did question how the Osmo Action does sort of line up with the DJI family of products as it currently stands. Of course, taking into consideration the DJI Osmo Pocket. Now, it does share a lot of similarities when it comes to the Osmo Pocket. For example, they use the exact same application, and they also have a very similar user interface. They also share very similar features, such as having normal and cine-like colors as well. So this is normal color mode. So now there's the same settings, 4K 24 frames per second, 1/160th of a second, ISO 100. So now there's the same settings, 4K 24 frames per second, 1/160th of a second, ISO 100. But of course, digital image stabilization and a 3-axis gimbal is going to give you a completely different look, but I'll save all of that for the full review of the Osmo Action. Now, there are a couple of design choices when it comes to the Osmo Action that I just wanted to mention really quickly. Number one, the inclusion of a microphone right here under the lens. I think that is absolutely awesome. Audio that comes out of the Osmo Action, this is all internal right now, so this is pretty much what it sounds like. The other choice to actually add microphones all over this thing, you have some along here on the sides and one on the top. I'm pretty sure they're to capture ambient noise. But also, I do believe these are also noise cancellation, very similar to the iPhone, where it has multiple microphones and uses some to capture ambient noise and actually block that out. And also, I mean, it's kind of funky, but they do have this battery bay that does come with the actual cover on it. So as of right now, when you have the battery out, there is no cover or protection for the battery bay. And once you actually put it in, it does have like sort of a two latch mechanism to make sure that no water gets in here, because this is a water resistant camera right out of the back. You don't actually need a case for it, so it's important that you do always close it up. And finally, it does have an I/O section with a removable bay door that does protect your different ports. So you do have a micro SD card slot here, and you also have a USB-C port. And when it comes to the user interface on the Osmo Action, I think DJI did a great job. It's really simple and easy to use and super intuitive. So far, my initial impressions of the Osmo Action are nothing but positive. I haven't done a full side-by-side comparison between this and the Hero 7 Black just yet, but like I mentioned, I'll be doing that in my full review. But that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any suggestions on things I should test for the full review, let me know down in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time to the channel, and don't forget to hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on all my new videos. Once again, guys, my name is Fran. Thanks for checking out this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.